All right, everyone on stream, we're going to get the camera set up, but we're still going to be muted for a sec, and then we are going to start. So everyone just be calm. Cameras are coming up, and then we'll be ready to start in a sec. All right, everyone, so you can hear me. Rich, hello, how are you?
I'm lovely, Philip. How are you?
I'm
You're
good.
looking stunning in that sweater today. Looking nice.
Thank you, sir. So I'm adjusting right now. I'm going to ask the chat, how does it sound? Because
I'm
every time
enjoying.
no, go
I'm
ahead.
enjoying your succulent. I'm enjoying your succulents behind you. They're very succulent.
Of course. Well, you built them too, so you know how succulent they are.
They're very. I love them.
So, guys,
Thank you for the inspiration.
how is the audio levels, everybody? Are we good? Because every time I do it on Discord, everyone says that I'm too loud, but I tried to adjust it today, so it sounds good. Are we good, everybody? They say we're good. All right, well, let's begin. So, wow, first of all, an epic moment. I think this has been a long time coming in the making. People have wanted to see us have a conversation for a very, very long time. And thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for giving us your time. I want to say that up front.
What interesting? What a coincidence? What are the odds? It's the coincidence of this timing. Just I'm sure it's all just circumstantial, right?
Oh, of course. There's absolutely no reason why it would be right now, this week, or anything. No, it just came together that way by complete, luck, dumb luck, right? But you're here. That's respectable. I thank you for your time, and I want to let you know, because I told the audience this before. I know you weren't here. There is absolutely no interruptions. There's no pop-ups on this stream. I'm not going to be reading shout-outs or anything from anyone. The stupid camera is screwing with me right now. But I'm not going to be doing anything to be distracted. It's you and me. I want to respect you because you're giving me your time. It's not about contributions today. I mean, I will shout them out after we're done when you're gone. It has nothing to do with you. I'm not going to be reading out insults or anything like that. That's not what this is, okay?
I don't care. I don't care if you did anyway, but that's fine.
I know you don't care, but it's just the thing. I mean, you're going to give me your time, dude. I got to give you respect for doing that. You could be doing something better with your time, I'm sure. And I appreciate you coming on. Now, before we begin, I want to clear the air here. You have absolutely no preconceived notions of what disappearance is, right? You don't know. We haven't talked about if it's going to be a topic, if it's going to be anything, right? We haven't planned anything, correct?
No, not once. And if you did, I would call you out on it. You didn't.
There you go.
Say a fucking word to me about anything.
Because people have been speculating for the last couple of days, well, since yesterday, and I guess you had let it drop on your show.
So we are back. It's been a long time that I can remember that we did a sort of covering of DSP interviewing somebody, right? So I think the last time we did it was, I think with Null, then there was Craig, and then there was Keemstar with the first one, and yeah, the beginning part they had a lot of technical issues. I think RTU was helping him out. I was very excited for this. I thought they were going to get into like a lot of their gripes, a lot of the things, maybe kind of mend and like kind of go forward, but it really didn't go that way as we got to see. Because from before he got kicked off, you could tell that like DSP was trying to cope about his sort of separation with Kino Casino. And for those who are not aware, Kino Casino and DSP for some period of time were working with each other, and Kino Casino really did help revitalize DSP's career, right, and gave him the opportunity to go through a bit of a redemption arc. With I think he flopped so hard that eventually it was just like it went nowhere. And I think the Kino Casino saw the writing in the wall, and I think like a couple of weeks ago they more or less just stopped working with him and they just burned the bridge and backstab him. Now DSP is correct that Kino Casino does burn a lot of bridges, but like that's what do you expect? Like especially coming from like Andy Worski of all people, where like you would think they wouldn't do that, but this isn't the first time, and I think Phil taking it a lot harder because I think what it is, Phil felt for the first time that he had actual like friends. He had people that he can communicate, people he can talk to, people he can interact. Especially, obviously, Phil's older than PPP and Annie Worski, but I think he felt that he had people he can actually connect to, right? Especially given that how long they've been on YouTube, how long, and especially the time they've been glazing him, more or less just did not work out, and he got really backstab. What everybody kind of knew. Everybody knew that Kino Casino, even funny enough, Review Tech USA even said like this wasn't gonna last long. It just whatever you felt is not gonna last long, and they're just gonna backstab you, which they end up doing anyway, which is like not really surprising. I think if you're surprised, I don't. I think you need to be. Sorry if you can hear that. But yeah.
The guy backs out of it and deletes his entire Twitter account. So immediately, the first idea that I'm going to do and work with these guys.
That wasn't the reason. Okay, this is boring. That wasn't the reason that he deleted the Twitter account.
Oh, you know what he said? I know exactly what he said. It was because of all the harassment he got and that people were being so nasty about certain things. I get that. And I'm not saying that's why he deleted his Twitter account. I'm saying this is the first actual thing that happened with these guys after the co-op React to Your documentary. This is supposed to be our first big thing, and immediately it falls apart. Like, immediately it just doesn't happen. They can't contact the guy. They can't get him back. For some reason, this is supposed to be the biggest guy in their Rolodex. He's ghosting them now. Okay? So now we'll move on. I think there was like one more here, but these are just me going through with them saying, look, he deleted his Twitter. I hope it had nothing to do with us. And you know what? So Worski says, I think he chickened out because he can't handle the heat. That's what Worski said right here, that Mudahar can't handle the heat of doing it.
These are all nothing burgers. Where is the damning stuff here?
We're going through a lot of stuff. Relax. Relax. And in here, I'm trying to find, he basically says, I think that, this is Josh Moon. He says that basically the detractors contacted Mudahar en masse, and he thinks that he pussied out because your detractors contacted him. That's what PPP says. Okay.
Screen share that link that I sent you. I want you to explain it to me.
I'm not screen sharing any links. We're not doing any bullshit that you want to do. It's not your show.
Why did you not do it? It's not my show, but you brought me on it.
All right. So
I think Phil, you thought this was going to be like some like battered wife. Like, yes, let's go. I don't care about I really don't give a shit. I don't care about.
Okay.
I think when DSP kicked RTU from his stream, I thought it was very childish. I think DSP should have kept him on a lot longer, and he should have just really not, instead of going over the whole Kino Casino stuff and everything, they should have just went at each other's throat and just got it all out and how they both felt. I do think that DSP is sort of right about RTU, but it's like at the same time RTU is also right about DSP. If anything, if you want my opinion, they're very much more similar. They're very lazy, they're very egotistic. They have people who are very much big time detractor. They have people who like them and then dislike them. I think they are kind of like built for the same. They're kind of coming from the same cloth, right? Obviously one's fatter than the other, but that's not here or there. But I think this interview was very much a failure, or at least this is what people expected. I think if you were expecting them to kind of sit down and conversate, it's very ridiculous. I think either way, RTU was gonna attack Phil for like, why are we talking to Kino Casino? What, in all right, RTU, like he has every right, but also like you going after him and being a detractor at DSP isn't any better, and obviously DSP being a detractor on your end, I mean you kind of started it. But, obviously DSP kind of going on Kino Casino flames the fire even more to the point where here we are now. Right?
Should have been away for some more people. Probably started 5 with it. We're going to do other stuff too. Don't worry. This is still.
JD&T donated $19.99 through Super Chat.
Yeah, I know what. Darth Dahmer, thank you for being a member for a year. Twisted, thank you for popping the super chat or membership cherry. Darkskin, holy shit, Phil is more regarded than I thought. No, I expected the retardation. The only thing that was kind of like, all right, like I knew he was still cucking for the casino when he was on True Seekers, but I'm like, maybe if I dig into him, he'll let me stay on. No, he didn't let me stay on. He just his narcissism wouldn't let me stay on. He is still trying to.
Donated $5 through Super Chat. The king snake swallowed you rich. Snake, 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 snake. Kiss mark.
Bro, he tried.
And with that being said, I think this interview could have been a lot better. I like how like DSP said, oh yeah, this is not the Level 66 podcast. And I was just like, what does that even mean? Like, are you this? I don't know. I felt that this podcast, or not this podcast, but I felt this stream could have been so much better. It could have been so much more entertaining. And it didn't really. I think it had to do with just, you got two people who are very much at each other's throats, who are very much competitive against each other. They're both each other's detractors. They have worked with people who are their detractors, so obviously Kino Casino, Duty, and so on and so on. It's in my eyes what you expected, and I think because of that, I think it's what made this so funny to watch. Obviously later on talks more about this on his own personal stream, course, he has every right to. And I would say I recommend watching them. I recommend watching the stream. First thing first, I recommend watching the DSP one first, then going into the RTU one. It gives you more context of what is going on and how things turn out. It could have been better, 100%. But if you're expecting it to be better, then you're in the wrong place. But with that being said, everybody, I hope you have a good one. Be safe, and more videos come. Till next time, y'all.